After leaving the presidential seat, Donald Trump spent long days in his mansion in Florida. From the outside, he looked calm, strolling through golf courses and often smiling for the cameras. But behind that smile lay something very different, an unending desire, an unfinished struggle, and a growing anger. America was no longer the same. The millions of people who once shouted his name in rallies, waving flags, were still out there, but the order in Washington had changed. New leaders had set up their own games, slowly erasing the legacy Trump had left behind. One day, as he sat quietly in the corner of his room, Trump asked himself, will the American people want me back, or will I be forgotten as just another part of history? That thought engraved itself in his mind. A leader's greatest fear was to be forgotten, and Trump never wanted to be forgotten. A plan was forming more clearly in his head. This time, the comeback would not be through loud rallies and grand speeches. This time it would be different. Silent but powerful, invisible but shocking. A strategy that would shake everyone. The media and his opponents were ready to use his every move against him, so his return couldn't be through open roads. It had to start in the shadows. One midnight, in a small meeting room, beneath his mansion, Trump gathered three old allies. Jack Morrison, a sharp-minded analyst who had spent years in the CIA. Linda Ray, a brilliant software genius from Silicon Valley, who had been pushed aside after clashing with big tech giants. And David Cole, once one of Washington's brightest lawyers, forced out of politics by the powerful lobbies. Trump sat at the head of the table, looked them in the eye, and asked a single question. Will you walk with me back to the White House? The room fell into silence. No one spoke. Jack finally raised his head, looked straight into Trump's eyes, and said slowly with firm determination, Mr. President, this time it will be much harder, but not impossible. With the right moves, this won't just be a comeback. It will be a legend. A faint smile spread across Trump's face. That smile said everything, because this wasn't just a meeting. It was the beginning of a secret plan that could change America's future. The first step was to be quiet, but visible. Linda began planting small campaigns, deep within the internet, sometimes with cryptic messages, sometimes with simple videos. The rumor of a mysterious leader's return was whispered. Soon, people started talking. Some said it's just a myth. Others whispered, a new hero is coming. But no one knew Trump was behind it. People speculated, debated, but couldn't be certain. Deep down, many hoped the mysterious figure was Trump. But the activities didn't remain hidden for long. A shadowy organization in Washington, the Orion Group, noticed. From the outside, Orion looked like a simple think tank. But behind the curtain, it was a force directing America's path. Its leader, Victor Hale, was a cold-blooded man with sharp eyes. The possibility of Trump's return could destroy his plans. Hale acted quickly, sending agents to infiltrate Trump's circle and uncover his moves. One day, Linda saw a strange warning flash on her computer screen, an outside attack on their systems. Shocked, she stared at the screen as Trump walked in. So, who's the brave hacker? He asked in his usual sarcastic tone. Linda swallowed hard and whispered, the Orion Group. Trump's eyes burned with fury. If they think they can stand in my way, they're gravely mistaken. It was time to move to the next phase. Trump needed to reconnect with the people, but this time, differently. With simple disguises, he went into the streets. He sat in a Detroit factory cafeteria with workers. No one realized that this was one of the world's most famous politicians. He rode tractors with farmers, stood behind counters in small shops. People began whispering about the mysterious businessman. He looked so familiar, but we can't figure out who he is. And soon the rumors spread. What if it's really Trump? As Trump touched people's hearts, Victor Hale grew impatient. Orion launched a massive smear campaign using its media power. Fake documents, fabricated videos claiming Trump was plotting a return flooded the news. Scandals dominated the headlines. But something unexpected happened. The people didn't believe them. They had seen Trump with their own eyes, spoken with him, shaken his hand, listened to his words. The lies backfired. Thanks to Linda's secret social media network, real images spread quickly. Trump with workers, farmers, students. The truth reached millions. And then, one unforgettable night came. Trump gathered his secret supporters in a grand hall outside Washington. The hall was packed. As he stepped onto the podium, silence fell. "My friends," he began, "I know I've been quiet for a long time, but that silence was the silence before the storm. Because suddenly the doors burst open. Men in black suits stormed in, Victor Hale's agents. Chaos erupted. The lights went out. Trump was rushed off stage, and the sentence was never finished." Across the nation, one question echoed. What was Trump about to say? The unfinished words spread everywhere. For days, weeks, people debated. An incomplete sentence had become far more powerful than a finished one. Despite Orion's pressures, Trump's determination only grew. The time for hiding was over. He was ready for the grand finale. As Election Day neared, Trump appeared live on national television and finally finished his sentence. "I will return, but not just as a president, as the true voice of the people." The studio erupted. Some cheered, some shouted in anger. But the truth could no longer be hidden. Trump was coming back. Victor Hale and Orion tried to stop him, but it was too late. The people had already decided. Whispers spread through Washington's corridors. Trump is returning. As the lights of the Oval Office lit up once again for him, America realized this comeback wasn't just an election. It was a symbol of resistance, of patience, of the power of unfinished words. When Trump sat in the chair, wearing his familiar smile, it was different this time. He was no longer just Donald Trump. He was now remembered as the leader who returned in silence. And everyone knew the story wasn't over yet. The real storm was just beginning. Donald Trump once again found himself in the very center of political storms. He had fallen many times before, risen again, and returned to the battlefield. But this time, the stage was very different. Old allies had turned away. New enemies forged secret alliances. And behind the scenes, the chessboard was being reset. Some believed Trump had lost his strength. Others believed he was gathering it like never before. Rumors swirled through Washington's gray corridors. Missing documents, secret meetings, former allies disappearing mysteriously. In response to all the whispers, Trump had only one thing to say. Nothing is over yet. The real game is only beginning. One evening, Trump gathered a select group of advisors in a dark room. A large map of the United States was spread across the table. Some states were marked red, others blue. Trump studied the map with a piercing gaze and declared, "The rise of power begins here." His eyes fixed on one spot. The room went silent. Everyone knew his plan was no ordinary move. Meanwhile, the media fell into extraordinary silence. News networks avoided speaking about Trump, only hinting at rumors. The people were divided. Some waited for Trump's return. Others believed it impossible. But the common ground for all was uncertainty. And in that atmosphere, Trump made a sudden declaration. Facing the cameras, he said, "I stand here today because America is once again at a crossroads. Some of you judge me for my past, others for my future. But never forget, No storm lasts forever, and when it ends, we will see who remains standing. His words echoed across America. Social media exploded, millions debated his speech. Some celebrated, others warned of looming danger, but no one remained silent. That night, Trump sat alone in his office. In his hand was an old notebook from his earlier days. On the first page, in bold letters, it read, "The winner always returns." His eyes, once again, lit with fire. He whispered to himself, "The real storm is just beginning." So what do you think? What could Donald Trump's secret return change? If he re-emerges, what path will America take? Or is there an even greater plan hidden behind it all? Let's meet in the comments with your thoughts. And if you'd like to support the channel and see the continuation of this story, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications, because the next chapter will be shaped by your curiosity.